Rebounded it well. Used our size to our advantage. You know, if we're gonna have a big lineup, we got to play big. So be able to get those rebounds and stop them from having second chance points or getting ourselves extra chances on offense was a huge key in the win. Playing a really, really good team with a lot of great players. So you got a margin of error is small.
Is that one way you can combat them getting in transition by making them have to focus?
Absolutely. Like getting those rebounds, especially putting pressure on them when we're on offense to get offensive boards. May slow them down or hinder their ability to get on a break. So when you got guys, players they got who are some of the best scorers we've seen, you got to do a lot of things to slow them down. And I think that's one way we can utilize our size advantage to help us defensively and get some balance.
Hey, Karl, what's your kind of approach when you have KD on you in the post and like how you're trying to attack that matchup? Because it seems like you're seeing a lot of that in game one of this.
Just be aggressive. I mean, I'm aggressive against anybody, but when you get to go against a player like that in the history of our league, you just want to make the right play, cool, calm, and collected, and take whatever the defense is giving you. So just last game, just trying to make sure that play a very clean game, make sure that I'm making the right plays, whether it is to score or whether it is to make the right play, right pass out, whether it's the easy pass or the skip pass from the block to the wing. Just doing a good job. We had a lot of practice time, and I have great teammates who are in the spots where I need them to be, so I can make those passes.
Is his length the biggest thing you have to deal with, or like what's the biggest obstacle against when he presents to you?
His IQ. I think that when he's seen a lot of basketball and at all types of levels, and he's guarded 1 through 5 in his career. So just going against his IQ, trying to do the best I can to counteract what he's doing against me defensively, and I think it's the same thing for us when he's on offense and I'm on defense.
What are you trying to prioritize in that matchup when you are the one guarding him? What are you trying to take away?
Just be aggressive and make it difficult on him. I mean, he's one of the best scorers this league has seen, so just do my job of making it as difficult as possible, make every shot a difficult shot, and just doing my best to at least, like KG would say, defensively stimulate him. Get him thinking if I'm gonna play up, I'm gonna use my length, if I'm gonna use the strength. So just try to give him a bunch of different looks throughout the game and make it as tough as possible against someone like that.
What was the atmosphere like compared to other Wolves games you've played in? Was that pretty unique?
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely energized in there, especially the first quarter. We've been blessed that our fans have given us a sellout all year, so it didn't feel abnormal to have that kind of atmosphere when we've been here at Target Center and you've seen it every single home game.
Is there anything you needed to tweak when you looked at the film today?
I think there's always things you can see, and there's also things that they've had our number all year. We found a way to get our first win against them, so you don't expect them to do the same thing. So for us, we got to be prepared for whatever they may change or may keep the same, and if at the same time looking at our tape and finding ways we could be better, especially a lot of different ways that we've seen that in this film session today that if we could even clean those up, we could even be a better defensive team.
What kind of response are you expecting from ROKKR specifically after this happened?
I mean, he's a gamer. I think everyone in the league knows that. So, like I said, they've had our number all year. We found a way to get our first win. But you expect them to come back and fire on all cylinders tomorrow. So we got to come back and play 2 times better than we did game 1 if we expect to come out with a W in game 2.
Similar at all for you guarding Durant, like guarding Jokic, and that it's like, hey Karl, you got him. We're not gonna help too much. Do the best you can, kind of thing.
It's fun. It's fun when you get to compete against the best of the best. Last year with Jokic, it was really fun to be able to guard, possibly the 3-time MVP and a guy that I have tremendous respect for. And this year it's the same thing. I'll take whatever challenge is needed for us to win, and I'll do whatever it takes for this team to win. And I got to guard the best player and find a way to score as well. I'll do whatever it takes. So I've never backed down from the challenge. I'll continue to do that every single night for the rest of the year.
Karl, in terms of that, like there are going to be times you play great defense and he scores. Like
absolutely.
Like how do you kind of keep the focus and and just keep bringing it to them on every possession?
I mean, you know that these guys like him, Booker, Beal, they're going to make some tough shots. And we can even talk about some of their other players who are really talented. But, that three-headed monster over there, you know that they're going to hit some really, really difficult shots, and you're just going to have to live with those. Like I said, my job is to make it as difficult as possible for them to even make one of those shots. And if they do with great defense, then, you got to respect the offensive greatness that they possess. So, it's those kind of guys you're probably not going to be able to stop. You just got to contain them as best as possible and make it as difficult for them down that night.
Karl, when teams go small, a lot of times the opponent will play two down and also take bigs out, try to match them. How important is it for you guys to not succumb to that, whether this series or anything?
I mean, we just got to. We have a unique advantage in the NBA, and it's helped us all year, especially in the regular season. We have a height advantage and we have a size advantage that we can't relinquish just because sometimes things don't look opportunistic for us. So, we just got to go out there and do what we do best, and let the cards play out. I think that last game was a great example of. Sometimes they went small ball, and we just continue to stay to our big lineup and find ways to rebound at a high level and use our length to catch up with their speed and quickness. So just continue to play our game. Don't get discouraged if things are not always going well in the game. That's the ebbs and flows of basketball. I could guarantee you in this series and any series after and in the regular season, every game hasn't went completely well all game, and we found a way to fight and be resilient. I'm really happy about our mental discipline last game. Our maturity of just showing that regardless of what's being called or what's happening in the game, we're just going to stay disciplined into our game plan, and we're going to continue to play at an effort and an energy that can't be matched.
Karl, you did most of your work in the post offensively in the first game. How much does the way they're guarding you determine the way if you're going to be playing off the catch, shoot threes in the post? Like, are you predetermining that or reacting to how they're guarding you?
I think it's both. I have a good idea what I want to do before the game and how I want to attack and impact the game, and also during the game, I get some times where I get a chance to be reactive and use my talents. Even last game with a 4-5 pick and roll and get a pull-up three, something I did a lot in FIBA and just saw the opportunity to shoot it, no hesitation. Just whatever the defense gives me and gives me the chance to help our team win, I'm going to do it.
You've got a pretty big putback on it. It seems like his drives provide the best putback opportunities. Is that something we're constantly aware of that? It seems like it can maybe easy to stand and watch sometimes. But if you pursue the play,
I wouldn't say it's the best idea, but sometimes I take my chances cutting from the top to go get an offensive rebound. Just having a knack for rebounding my whole career, just seeing if possibly it's going to be a tough layup and I may be in a position to help tip it back in or get an offensive rebound and get an and one or put the ball back in the rim. So I did it last game. I wouldn't say that was the best idea I've ever had, but it worked out for me and our team. So I'm happy. But you just got to be selective of those moments and just, like you said, just be reactive and utilize my experience and talent and try to do the best I can.
You talked about the mentality of this team. What is the challenges of being just as desperate when you lead a series?
When you desperate as well?
Like, you guys really play like a desperate brand of basketball. So, like, what are the challenges of maintaining that even when you're ahead of the series?
It has to match discipline too. The discipline has to match that desperation. So it's great to have the energy. It's great to have those moments. But if the discipline doesn't match up, we're gonna have a long series. We're gonna not find ourselves in the best situation. So we just gotta have the discipline to continue to follow our game plan, execute at a high level, and not get discouraged if anything that we're doing and we have planned doesn't go to plan. Just stay confident in ourselves and our game plan and the work we've put in and deal with the results later. No,
appreciate you. They do so well to not get hung up on those over and over again and get through them.
Well, I mean, they compete. They really compete on the ball. They compete through screens. It's been one of our kind of staples. Just got to be able to navigate that. So there's so many great guards in this league. We're fortunate to have multiple guys who we can put in front of them. But yeah, and then we have there's support from Rudy or the bigs behind it. But yeah, the care factor is high. That's where it starts.
2 years ago, rebounding was your biggest weakness in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you get Rudy. Even last year, rebounding wasn't maybe where you wanted it. But is this kind of what you envision a performance like Saturday when it comes to playing big, the kind of rebounding you need, not just from Rudy, Karl, but from last year?
Yeah, I thought we did a great job on both ends, rebounding the ball. Kind of play with that desperation to go get it, the physicality to hit. And that's what you have to do. You got to find ways to pose yourself. We've been a big team all year. That doesn't just mean like, two bigs in the paint punishing people. It means you got to be physical with your screening, physical with your rebounding opportunities, and with a lot of the lineups that they'll put out there, we felt we have an advantage with our size. So guys did a good job of capitalizing on that.
Is the importance of that and the emphasis on that really clicked in for guys like Ant and Jaden?
Yeah, I think you've always heard me say like you're only as good a rebounding team as your small's willingness to go rebound, on both sides of the ball, and that has to be the case, no doubt.
When you talk about maturity on this team, is this game 2 a maturity type thing to see how they respond to winning game 1?
I think there's some level of it. I wouldn't say if we don't respond and don't win game 2, we're an immature team. But our approach has to be one of, like it was the other day, keep our edge, keep our desperation. We still have a ton to prove. We expect this to be a really long series. That's a great team over there with a bunch of good coaches that are going to make adjustments, so we got to be ready for those. So human nature is obviously to relax a little bit, and we've been preaching that you have to guard against it. So we'll see. Hopefully, guys, and I'm pretty sure they'll be ready.
Chris, you said last week the rotation is going to be about around 9 guys. If Kyle can't play, does it stay around 8, or does somebody else have to fill in that 9 spot?
We're lucky to have 10 guys who we feel can play rotation minutes. Who those guys are at any given moment may change. Obviously, the injury forced some things the other night. So we leave it open as we do, but we know we got depth to be able to go either direction that we want to. So,
Chris, if they go smaller here in this next game, what's the key to kind of being able to counter that? And you went to zone. It seemed like against that some. How did you feel like you guys did in that zone going against them?
I mean, the key to all of this is always ball control. You got to sit down and guard the ball when they go small. That's where it starts. You got so much ball skill, so much firepower with the ball in their hands. That's where it starts for us. And transition is going to be huge too. So.
Chris, were you able to enjoy the atmosphere?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was great. Crowd was amazing. They're into it from the beginning. Getting off to a big start was important for us to make sure that we, were able to kind of match the starts that Phoenix has had against us. But also key in that was keeping the energy in the building, which was great. So it's always enjoyable after a win. I'm not sure if this is always enjoyable after a loss, but nonetheless, it's fun to play in these atmospheres.
How did you teach reducing turnovers in the week you had off?
I'm not sure you teach something like that. I just have to keep stressing it. I think a lot of it has to do with just making the simple play, the play that's right in front of you, don't overcomplicate it. So.
3 different matchups against Denver. You put Karl and Jokic a lot. He just has to kind of defend, sometimes with minimal help. And KD, same here. He's probably going to give up 28, 30 points, but what does it say about him that he's willing to make the sacrifice to take on that matchup and just do it to the best of his ability?
Yeah, I thought Cat's game the other day was outstanding, man. I thought he played clean. He thought he played efficient. He battled at everything. I mean, looking back at a lot of those shots KD hit, they're superhuman. You just have to compete your best. And Cat's done that all year. We've said that part of the secret of our success is Cat's willingness to sacrifice on both ends of the floor and still find ways to make major impacts. Finished second in scoring, really efficient, got to the free throw line, played physical with intelligence. Thought it was outstanding. So going to need more of it.
You mentioned having to pick your poison with a team like Phoenix. Is Kevin Durant shooting contested mid-range jumpers even as good as he is the poison you're picking in this series?
And I wouldn't say that. I think he's certainly a guy that he can carry them all by himself at times. So you got to be mindful of that. There's just a lot going on out there. So it might flip flip throughout the game. It might flip from game to game. So.
When you have 3 all-star shooters and then a guy like Allen who can hit an open 3, do you prioritize what you want to give up if you have to give up anything?
Oh, that's what this is all about. You got to prioritize everything when you certainly you get to this time of the season. You're not going to be able to take everything away. So certainly got to figure that out. But it all starts with getting back and being solid early, and I thought we were able to do that the other night. So.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.